Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I just found out what game I'm going to be reviewing for you, and it's S.O.S, which looks to be... Oh, hey, hot damn, this looks like a good time right here. Can't wait to... Wait, hold on a minute. What? Uh-huh. Huh. Okay, got it. Alright, looks like this is the wrong game, and we're actually talking about S.O.S Sink or Swim, which is... Oh, that looks so much worse! Alright, well, let's head into this with an open mind. Ugh. Alright. S.O.S Sink or Swim, developed by Zeppelin Games and published by Titus, this little puzzle platformer originally came out on DOS in 1993. It was then ported to the Super Nintendo in PAL regions in 1994, and then North America in 1996, which is a really weird time gap that I wish I had some explanation for. It also came to the Mega Drive and Game Gear, but as always, the Super Nintendo version is what we will be looking at here. Now, I know I normally start my videos out with some fun little history lesson or backstory behind the development of a game, but you're gonna get none of that here because this weird little thing is so inconsequential it barely has a Wikipedia page. So let's just get to the review, starting with the overall design of this game and the story in particular. Now, to get any sense of the narrative, we need to consult the manual, which tells us that you play as Kevin Codner, no not him, a hero tasked with saving the passengers aboard the S.S. Lucifer, a fast-sinking ocean liner that was damaged by an iceberg. And I know we're only a minute into this review, but I'm already gonna start bitching. First of all, it would have been nice if some of this exposition made it onto the cart. When you jump in and start playing, you get absolutely no context as to what's going on. Yeah, you see your submarine pulling up, but you know nothing else. You don't even know that you're on a ship at first, and the box art doesn't help with that. Is this a game about puppets or something? Maybe if you get a microscope, you could figure out what the hell is going on by looking at the label on the cart, but it's pretty damning that you need the manual to know even the basic gist of what's happening. The only point of exposition comes when you beat the game, and it raises way more questions than answers. So, I'm assuming the ship sank, right? And who is this guy in the water? And is that him as well? Why does he have a rocket pack? And what the hell is going on with this newspaper headline? Who is Rourke? This guy has literally never made an appearance once in the game. You know, beating a game can elicit a wide array of emotions, but utter confusion should not be one of those emotions. Going back to the original DOS release gives us a bit more context, but it doesn't align with what we read in the manual. For one, it shows that the ship didn't hit an iceberg, but started sinking because this guy pulled the plug out of his bathtub. What? And the newspaper at the end instead says, Codner Hero, Kevin Does It, which means this is actually supposed to be Kevin, I guess, and now I have a whole new thing to complain about. Could they have made the main character's design a bit more consistent? He pops up looking like Milton Berle on the title screen, but on the box cover he looks like a Muppet. And then at the end, if this is even supposed to be him, he has lighter hair and is smiling like the Terminator. Okay, maybe we should just move on and talk about the overall layout of the game. Sink or Swim is separated into a whopping 100 levels, and in each level, the condition for victory is guiding all of these useless flailing idiots to this hatch. Easier said than done, however, because there are a number of obstacles and hazards in the way that can prevent them from reaching the hatch, and in some cases just downright kill them. It's up to you then to hit switches, drop blocks, blow shit up, and basically clear a path to ensure that they can walk unobstructed all the way to the hatch. And they are morons, make no mistake. While games like Lemmings bestowed some utility upon their escortees, these guys walk in a straight line, climb the first ladder they see, and that's it. Look, the hatch is right there, but here they go, climbing the ladder instead. Just go in the... Okay. You get 4 lives, and lives is a weird word because you lose lives in the weirdest ways. For one, you lose a life if you don't save enough passengers. You also lose a life by getting hit by an environmental hazard, which you wouldn't know because it still allows you to keep going after you get hit. You get this daffy little animation, but otherwise not much else to indicate that your life count is decreased by 1 unless you take note of the number. I was playing thinking these hazards were harmless whilst simultaneously wondering where all my lives were going. And sometimes they stick the hazards right beside you at the beginning of the level, so you start and boom, life gone. There are also moments when hitting a hazard also causes you to fail the level, like here where I get roasted before I can hit the switch, and then subsequently the doofuses all fall to their doom, effectively costing me 2 lives. Please, just automatically restart the level when I hit a hazard. When you lose all your lives, you get this screen, which is stupid because the damn ship was sinking anyways. Game over doesn't mean start again though, because there's a password you're given every 5 levels that's already entered for you in the password section when you go back to continue. They made the passwords real words, which is nice, nice, but I wish it defaulted to the password screen after every game over so you don't accidentally pick new game and then have to reset. Damn it! There are 5 different level themes that you go through as the game goes on, starting with the engine room, and then moving to the freezer, the kitchen, first class, and finally the deck. But you're not going to find much variety within these themes. Occasionally you get a level where there's rising water, which necessitates the use of flotation devices, including a raft you can deploy with the X button at any time. But there are remarkably few levels like this, making the raft and in turn the X button irrelevant for most of the game. Overall, the design of Sink or Swim is a mixed bag. It just feels amateur. Like, if someone told me that this game was made by a couple of 11-year-olds who won a contest, I would totally believe them. It does not get much better in the gameplay department either. Well, let me back up there and say that when it comes to running around, flipping switches, and climbing ladders and all that, your character is very nimble and he controls quite well. And thank God for that, because there are quite a few levels where time is of the essence, and you need to perform super efficiently lest the doofuses walk into a fire pit. I never once got annoyed by the controls, so let's give credit where credit is due. They were even kind enough to provide us with a training option on the title screen to get us used to everything. For each new level, you start at some predetermined point, and immediately the doofuses are dropped in. They walk in a straight line, and for some levels they'll just walk in some kind of holding pattern, giving you the opportunity to run around and get the lay of the land. In most levels, however, they will continue to walk into certain doom, and you will need to prevent this by hitting a switch or dropping a block or whatever to get them in that holding pattern while you figure stuff out. Once you do, it's a matter of setting the course for them, then you can let them loose and hope to hell they make it to the exit. This can take a while, which makes me wish they included a fast forward option to value your time a little more. One thing I did not like is how much you had to screw up and repeat levels just to figure things out. Make no mistake, you're going to fail a lot of levels on your first, second, third, and fourth attempt. And this is going to be annoying because, as I mentioned, a game over usually sets you back a number of levels. So you'll start a level, fail a few times, beat it, start the next level with 1 life, fail, get a game over, then get sent back to the level you started on, rinse and repeat for each subsequent level up until you get the password, and then you'll never have to deal with those levels again, which is good because by then you'll be damn sick of them. It makes me think they could have streamlined things by just making a password for each level instead of every 5. You're going to get your fair share of challenge here, both the good kind and the bad kind. The good kind will have you strategically plotting a course and manipulating the environment, while the bad kind will have you pulling your hair out trying to figure out how to get the guys to this floating hatch, only to find out that there's a secret second hatch behind a box. Why did they do that to us? Why introduce hidden hatches and decoy hatches at the same time? There are also some weird mechanics you'll come across that will make you question the laws of the game. Like, what the heck just happened there? And if what I'm seeing is accurate, I can't blow up boxes by putting bombs on top, except I totally can right here somehow. Moving on to the graphics. You know, it's interesting to talk about the graphics midway through a video because if you're watching this, by now you've probably made up your mind about how things look. And yes, I agree, it looks like shit. Actually, you know what? Saying it looks like shit would be generous. This game looks like the inside of the Ark of the Covenant. So many messy patterns, overblown colors, and general noise and busyness that actually makes it hard to play. This is a puzzle game. The objects of interest should stand out. The hatch should be clear and identifiable. You shouldn't have to seek it out amidst a sea of cluttered backgrounds and distracting set decorations. On more than a number of occasions, I was scooting around unable to find the level exit because the graphic for the level exit is such a banal feature that in no way stands out from anything around it. Where is it? Again, things just feel amateur, like the weird public access television style intro to each level. Actually, wait, I did kind of like that. But only that! Audio is very basic, and the best thing I could say is that the music is inoffensive, which is great for a puzzle game. Hearing awful music when you're trying to solve a tricky puzzle is agony, so I'm glad this soundtrack knows to recede into the background and stay out of the way. However, with only 4 songs spread over 100 levels, and those songs averaging only a minute each, they could have given us more. The whole soundtrack clocks in shorter than an average ballad from Meatloaf. The sound effects are fine, although I feel we could have used a lot more of them to make things more immersive. It's kind of a quiet game. Dropping a bomb, for example, could have used like a or deploying life vests could have used a or whatever. It's just odd to hear nothing when your guy gets flattened by heavy machinery. You get a yippee sample when you save a doofus, which makes sense, but then there's this evil laugh that sounds when you don't save enough people. Whose laugh is that? Now I'm confused again, because as far as I know, there's no bad guy in this game. Is that the iceberg? Alright, let's not dwell on this too much and move on to value. Should you buy this game? Well, based on the quality alone, I would say no, but it's going to be an extra no when I tell you that a loose cart costs $100. But here's an interesting thing to note, particularly if you're a collector. This game is rare as shit. I've never come across a copy in the wild before and had to order mine online. So when you think about it, $100 is actually not bad considering other super rare titles like Final Fight Guy are going for over $400. Hurricanes, another mediocre yet super rare game, shot up in price like crazy over the past year. So if I'm correctly reading which way the wind is blowing, Sink or Swim should see a similar price spike. But there really isn't much of anything else that justifies buying this game, so just don't. Instead, get Lemmings, or Lost Vikings, or King Arthur's World, or Trodlers if you're looking for the same kick. Which brings us to the end of the video, and it looks like Sink or Swim is going to get a whimpering 4.6 out of 10. Just a weird, amateur, eyeball-scalding little footnote of a game that really didn't do enough to earn anyone's attention. Oh well, have fun.